So I don't even know what this pick a card is going to be about yet, but I figure it out. Figured we would do a bit of Palo Santo, lighting out cards. I'm going to do a message for you to reflect on. Just like a look at your current energy and any advice helpful to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your consideration of the insights I have to offer. This is a general reading. It's important that you use your own intuition to decide if these reflections are meant for you. If one or more of these picks has a message for you, it's important to only take what pertains to you. See, the camera is going in and out of focus, so this is a new camera, a new setup. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, and we're going to start with, it's going to be pick 1, pick 2, and pick 3. Start with pick 1. Okay, pick 1. Look at what's going on with you. This is my astrology bucket. I'm going to use that, but first I'm going to get a few tarot cards. Stick away for now. Might use it later. So, I have some cards pertaining sort of movement forward. This movement forward is happening despite a broken heart and maybe while wearing a mask. Okay? So like, maybe you're thinking of taking action or you are taking action, but there's something under the surface. It could be propelling your action. Like you got, okay, so yes, you got inspired to this action. And it could be because of a broken heart, because of pain caused, and because there's a truth that needs to be shared, and it's not yet been shared. Some sort of truth not yet been shared, but you are taking action for the purpose of clearing this up, I believe. Is there one more card here? You can't see me shuffle, but you can see the reflection. So, 2 cards. This is for the purpose of trying to prevent some sort of loss. Like maybe it's like you had a breakup and you're trying to get back together. This 3 of Cups is in reverse, so there was some sort of interference, and that is out of the way now. I've cleared the interference out of the way, and you're going with the pain and all to prevent a loss, to perhaps reconcile a situation, or to save, or to begin again, or to... This pain is perpetuating you forward, though. The pain that may or may not have been healed. Let's see. Let's see what the astrology oracle has to say. Tell us more about the situation for pick 1. Whatever was in your way, the soul contract for that has expired. And this has left you in longing. Longing has spurred this idea, like you want to stay in the longing. So you're willing to take this adventurous trip forward, and you're actually weaving your own new story and experience. Like you are in control of what's happening now. Because whatever soul contract you were in, you cleared it. You're going forward with hope. So you're not fully in faith. You're not really like knowing what's going to happen. You're basically having to take a okay, yeah, I see, okay. All right, so you're taking this action based on the fear of losing something, or the fear of this longing not being fulfilled or quelled, right? And you're going in a hopeful state. Now, one step higher from that, if you were to go at this from a different, oh yeah, I see you can't see these, so I'm just going to put them here. One step higher than going with hope be to go in faith, to take a leap of faith. And now, a leap of faith means simply that your intention is that you go forth with the expectation that what happens is in the highest good of all. You have faith that you can handle what happens, and that what happens will be in the highest good of all. That the experience that you're about to have will be beneficial to you in some way. Instead of going on the premise of fear and fear of losing something. So do you see that there's a subtle difference in those energies? You're fearing that you're going to lose something, so you're taking action. But if you just step that back for a second and raise your vibration on the intention and go with the intention of knowing that whatever happens, it will be for the highest good of all, then your outcome is going to be in alignment with that. Whereas if you go with fear, your outcome will be in alignment with fear, fear-based outcomes. So even if you got what you wanted, you might not even trust it, or it might not even feel as good as it could if it came by way of faith. You see? Okay. So the truth of the matter is that whatever happens is for the highest good of all. Even if you went in fear, it would still be for the highest good of all. That is the truth. So just recognizing the truth and going on the premise of the truth is going to help you a lot. You'll go from a more whole state, and so you can get a more wholesome response. There's a gift in this experience for you. There's something here that this experience is going to remind you of something that you innately have within you. Something you can, some skill or talent or some sort of energy that you innately have access to. And whatever the experience is for you and another person, I imagine another person is involved. It could be a job, though. Honor your experience. Honor whatever this experience is, because it does have something for you to gain. And it's going to, the act of doing this is collecting this part of you that hadn't caught on to the fact that you had this gift. Okay? You're going to be forced to see and honor this part of yourself that can handle yourself in this situation. Maybe it's the fact that you have the ability to alchemize something from like going from hope to faith. That's an alchemy that's required. You're taking one lower way of being and raising it to a higher way of being. So by honoring your fear, you first honor your fear. You don't ignore it, suppress it, or deny it. You honor it. You say, I love this part of me, and I understand why this part of me is in fear, and this part of me who's in fear can come with us, because we know that the universe is doing what's in the highest good of all. Got intercepted here. That's interesting. Tell us more about intercepted. Oh, it's falling under the expired soul contract and the heartbreak and the the not sharing of the truth. So it, you were purposely kept away from this thing that you wanted because you were still in this energy of letting something interfere. This is something that stemmed from childhood. The reason that you did this was something that stemmed from childhood. Some sort of expectation that was rooted in how you grew up. Some sort of holding yourself to this responsibility or the expectations of others or a commitment that you had previously made or something where your beliefs that came from childhood held you to this interference, this thing that kept you away from what you are actually longing for and now going towards. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get some advice. This is a new setup, and I'm just looking at it right now, looking at the screen, I can see it's not that pretty. I mean, to be honest, I will definitely be working with my setup to see what else I can do to get it looking a little more pretty, because I really am someone who values the aesthetics, and this just isn't up to my par. All right, but it's working for our first try, so please bear with. We've got antelope, decisiveness, make a decision and take appropriate action, which I think, you have, you're ready to take action. So if doubts are still coming up, it's just because these parts of yourself that have not told the truth and that have been heartbroken for it need your love. They need to know that you accept them and love them too, and that they can come and make this decision and take this leap of faith and know that no matter what happens, you will be okay. Then it says perseverance, the badger. I love this one. I love the badger. Dig in and see it through to completion. Yeah, you're going to have this longing until you see it through. Have faith that whatever happens is for your highest good. Whatever happens, you get to see who you really are. You get to find out, right? You're not going to live your life in that wondering what if kind of state. And then focus. Choose your priorities and eliminate all distractions. Yeah, so they're saying, like, if your priority is to find this out, then stop letting anything that was in your way get in your way, and don't let anything else jump in your way, as the universe tries to make you prove it, that you're ready to go forward with this. Because, like, you are breaking out of a karmic pattern. You're like setting out on a new path and you don't know what's going to happen, and that means you have to contend with things like fear of the unknown, fear of success, anything like that, fear of rejection. Well, I can tell you, rejection is protection, right? Like if you were in a situation where you were listening to something outside of yourself, whether it be a belief from childhood or actual distractions, and not prioritizing someone that you want to go towards or a job that you want to go towards, that job was better off without you until you could prioritize it. That person was better off without you until you could prioritize it, you see? So it's working out in everybody's highest good at all times. It's just, what do you want to align with? What's your priority? And can you move towards that, whatever it is, and can you stick to it? Can you commit to whatever your priority is? Or will you always let this doubt, fear, and distraction lead you? Because when you let doubt and fear lead you, that's what you get for an outcome. It's in line with those things, right? Okay, so go live your new story. See what this wonderful web has weaved for you, this web of longing, this web of adventure. Go with that adventurous mind. Let the situation impress upon you. Go without the need to control the outcome. Go without the need to know the outcome. Go without the need to manipulate and coerce any certain outcome. Let it impress upon you. Be the one willing to take a chance for what's important to you, and let yourself earn your own trust back and show yourself that you matter to you, not what everybody else wants to you. And if it's from childhood, it's like you grew up and now you know different. And now you know there's something inside you that wants to lead you. And it's not just expectations of society or parental figures that get to dictate how you live your life anymore. You have reparented yourself. You have the opportunity to reparent yourself and let yourself be free enough to go towards what is important to you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Well, enjoy that adventure no matter what it is. I commend you. I think it's a beautiful thing. I understand the fears that can come up. Just love each one of them. Accept that about yourself. Let those fears come with you. And also the knowing that you have your back no matter what the outcome is. Just go see. Go see. Okay. Thank you for being with me, Pick One. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you spending it with me, and perhaps we'll see you in a future reading. Remember, this is just information to reflect on and take what is helpful for you. If it's not helpful, it's not meant for you. Bye. We could pause this while I'm doing this. Okay, hi Pick Two for joining me for this reading. I'm going to first get some tarot cards, and I'm going to use the astrology bucket. I'll get a message to reflect on. I have this song in my head. What is it called? It's by The Fray. Something like Don't Let Me Go by The Fray. Interesting. I don't know if that's relevant, but that just is in my head. I don't know if it started for pile 1 or pile 2, actually. So these piles could be tied together. If you were drawn to more than one, feel free to watch. Okay, we got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This is a new setup, and I haven't perfected it. The camera is going in and out of focus, and I'm going to have to work with it to see. The Six of Wands. Some sort of something that it's like something you want, and you know it'll maybe bring you a lot of success. Maybe affect your reputation. Break, but it's in reverse. Get 2 more cards and see. Four of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay, I think there's someone wearing a mask here. Who has a reputation to uphold. It has people can see them, and they appear to have everything they need and want. But inside, there's a heartbreak. Like, they're not content with what it is they have, and they are in fantasy land, like about thinking about all the possibilities. Really, like, maybe even feel stuck or stagnant under, like, they know that they're not being fulfilled in what they have, which could be fulfilling for a lot of people, but it's just not for them. Feeling this heartbreak, knowing that there's so much more that they want, but not able to take action towards it, only able to kind of contemplate it and maybe feel tangled by it in a way. Maybe focusing on work to avoid having to deal with it. Maybe too busy at work to address it. It could be a work-related thing that's being wanted and is one of the possibilities of potential fulfillment. But there's certainly no action on it right now. Right now is this time of like being with self, dealing with the heartbreak, comforting self through heartbreak. And making a plan. Perhaps the security of this person is really important. Um, Even though it's not fulfilling, it's like an important part of the plan to be secure financially and to be very well established in order to be able to pursue the possibilities. Feel healed. There's a lot of healing going on in this situation. And so it's a beautiful thing, actually. You're just at a point in life where you've outgrown your current circumstances. You worked to achieve something. It didn't feel as fulfilling as you thought. There are a lot of eyes on you. You may have pride then getting in the way of letting you move out of a situation that's not fulfilling for you because there's expectations of either yourself or others on you about what you should be feeling like or what you should be achieving or what your life should look like. And meanwhile, the reason that you're doing this is because there's some undealt with heartbreak. And instead of dealing with that heartbreak directly, you may have been like doing a lot of work or kind of thinking about other possibilities to make yourself feel more fulfilled. But life seems to be forcing you to take some downtime. Like maybe your work opportunities aren't working out as you wanted them to, or things like that, or like where you thought something would be fulfilling, you're having to take a lot more steps. So it's like whatever you thought would work isn't working. So you're kind of being forced to go inward and deal with this heartbreak and get some perspective on it and be with the parts of yourself that are hurt. And this may be your own choice to do this as well. It might not be the universe forcing you to do it. It might be something that you knew it was time to do. You knew that there was something inside that was preventing you from feeling that whole and appreciation for the circumstances you have, which appear to be, something wanted and successful. Astrology bucket for some more. You may have had a really ruthless way of going about getting what you wanted at times. You may be having to reflect on some things like that. Some ways that you maybe aren't proud of what you had done in terms of like how you treated other people or in terms of how you let yourself be treated. Yes, how you let yourself be treated is a big one. um, perhaps had to take a lot of abuse, and let a lot of people take from you in order to achieve what you've achieved. And so you are reflecting on this, you're reflecting on all of your sacrifices and all of where you had to spread yourself thin and put yourself in all these different directions to get to where you are. It was a lot of work, and it just feels like um, you're realizing the truth of what happened to get you there, like why it isn't so fulfilling, because you had to sacrifice yourself. You had to let yourself get used and abused, or you may have had to use or abuse others. You may have had to like ignore things that were in your heart that were important, like the heartbreak. There's just so much truth being revealed to you at this time that you can't even ignore it. That's why you're feeling burdened, and that's why you're taking the time to be with yourself and to not take action any longer towards what it was that you were working on. And you're going through the motions of what needs to be done, so it's not like you're not taking good care of yourself still. You are maintaining the relationships that you had. You're just kind of doing it ritualistically. You've actually been downloaded with this high vibrational energy, which has a much bigger awareness than you were used to. So perhaps earlier on in your life, what you had achieved would have been enough for you. And it's just that at this point in your life, you agreed to have this spiritual awakening, so to speak, or this like upgrade in your life, this um, um, mission, this like just a new experience of life from a higher vibrational standpoint and a bigger awareness. And that's why all these truths are being revealed to you, where you're realizing like the root causes of why you went and did things that certain way, or how they were achieved, and how other people played into that, and what kind of loops of karma were created and lived out and escaped from through doing all this. Like, you're understanding something about the way society lives and why they live that way and why that's not fulfilling. Okay? It's not for nothing that you did all that you did. You may feel that way because you wanted to be fulfilled, like that you thought that's what you were working towards. But you were actually working towards the agenda that was put in you from society or from family or whatever it was from your earlier view. And you need that because what you have achieved is something a lot of people are striving to achieve as well. And maybe they don't realize what you're now realizing is that that's not the fulfillment. That's not where it is. That's not the thing that at least you are not fulfilled by. And so having the perspective, though, that you have will be useful to you in what you are going to achieve. And you will use this perspective and this knowledge creatively towards what will be fulfilling for you. And you will be able to commit yourself to this truth finding, this understanding, this uncovering of any place where things aren't fair, and this immense power and strength and drive that you have access to, that got you to where you are and achieved all you have, is now what you will use to, first of all, heal yourself. First of all, deconstruct and understand all of the scenarios that were making up what happened here. And then also to go on to achieve what it is that will fulfill you. So as you find out the truth on things and understand where they came from, you're just like transcending, you're alchemizing, you're clearing the karma of those things. You're now on the path to your destiny. That's what this was all about in the first place. It's like this old part of your life, you can let it go from the standpoint of you don't have to live that way anymore, but certainly you're going to take the wisdom gained and the knowledge that you now have, the perspective that you lived in is valuable to you going forward. There's something that you'll find you'll want to commit yourself to within a week's time, and it could be a full week of healing, right? You might even take a vacation from work and just say, no, this is the week where I actually sit with myself and be with myself. And actually you may be healing a relationship, or there may be people that you're coming back together with that you feel like you are committed to on a soul level. From the star seed, it's like we got composite, we got reconciliation, we got star seed, we got constant, which is like a commitment. And so this perspective that you gained was valuable to you, but now you'll take that into this relationship, which is, we've got Gemini here, so that may be relevant to you, but like there's many views, right? And when you have all the views, you can balance out the energy and create 0 point. Everything that's true, the opposite is also true, and once you can realize that on each thing, then you balance that energy out, and then you can operate above it. And I believe that what you will be doing is coming together with another soul or other souls, where someone perhaps that you to reconcile with, like, or you will be reconciling all the knowledge that you've gained and the wisdom you've gained with somebody else's knowledge and wisdom, and kind of comparing notes. And perhaps that is your contract, like, that is your obligation to do. That's something that will help both of you heal. There's definitely relationships here, there's a reconciliation. It's part of your destiny, and starseed, it's like you always knew that this would be the time that you were going to be doing this. Other signs we got is Leo, that's self-expression, Aries, the Fool energy, which is like take a leap of faith. So I'm going to move them down to here. There's the Leo, there's the Aries. And things that you used to eat before may not work for you anymore because you've upgraded your body, you've upgraded your energy. The truth is that you are establishing a new relationship with everything in your life. Everything. So everything is being reflected on, everything is being looked at for its truth and for its usefulness in what you're creating going forward. And you have the ability now to create a new story. So a story that you will feel fulfilled in, and that covers all the basis of what these possibilities were, and look at why you wanted to consider those possibilities, right? There's reasons. So you were looking for something that's missing. That is the clue, that is the key to knowing where you're going now. It's towards the thing that you knew you didn't have when you thought you should have been feeling fulfilled. It's like, okay, I achieved what I wanted, I should feel fulfilled, I don't, okay, why? What is it? And then that's the thing that you're now going to go towards and create and be creative in creating. And doing that perhaps by collaborating and being committed to somebody else or some other relationships that you had once let go of. You're a pathfinder. Trust your instincts to guide you through this situation. So you'll feel it, just like you got to that destination point in your life and it didn't feel right. You'll also feel when something's off in this path, in your journey as you go. You'll know. And if you come across a situation where you are not happy with how it feels, it doesn't mean you've taken a wrong turn. It probably means there was something for you to learn in that perspective. Aries, it's a Fool energy. It's like, yeah, there's something new here. Let's see what that's like. Badger, perseverance. Dig in and see it through to completion. So you can trust yourself and you can move forward and through this. Because this is what was meant to happen at this time. You're healing some major stuff. But also, look at this, Dolphin, playfulness. Take time to play. It's not all work. It's not all Like maybe that was what you found missing from your life, is the playfulness, is the fun, is the adventure, is the self-expression, is the creative self-expression, is the heart. Like you were operating with a broken heart. So as you do this healing of your broken heart, you'll be able to play much more easily because you can be in touch with your inner child. And that is where you want to build a relationship with somebody. You want to build a relationship with somebody without attachment, without expectation, and with an honoring of both people, right? So it's just like letting go of that old paradigm in order to really enjoy life again and to really get in tune with who you are and to trust yourself. And that's what you're equipped to do at this time. And yes, it's going to be a matter of refocusing yourself and retraining yourself because you're in the habit of doing it that other way. That's what the healing time is for. It's like to retrain yourself to get on board with what the new story is. The new story is allows for the possibility of the fulfillment of you in all ways. So some things have to be added in that were not valued in the old plan. Well, pick two. That's very interesting. It does kind of feel a little bit just like pick one, but we talked about it in a different way with a different angle. So it was very interesting, and I hope that you find that helpful. Actually, it's meant to be helpful, so if it wasn't helpful, then it's not meant for you. Just take what's helpful, reflect on what's important for you to reflect on, and leave the rest for someone else. And I appreciate you being here. Perhaps we'll see you in a future reading. Bye now. 3. Messages to reflect on. Not ideal. New camera, new everything. Not aesthetically pleasing, but I'll work on it for next time. Thank you for being here for now. We'll get right into it. Getting some tarot cards. We got the World card and it went flying. The camera is going in and out of focus, so we just gotta kind of deal with that for a minute. World card. Things are changing. There's a completion of a cycle. Ooh, 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 ooh. What was that? I thought it was the devil, but it's the Queen of Wands in reverse. Behind some bitch. Just kidding. Kind of. Yeah, maybe the picky part of you or someone that like that in your life. Yep, you're leaving behind. This need to control, this need to like be the center of attention, this need to manipulate or control or be like the boss or yeah, you're taking a stand against kind of either a person like that or those traits in yourself. You're putting an end to that cycle of maybe even just like wanting or needing from other people or letting other people depend on you too much that would cause you to be a little bit grumpy or resentful, things like that, you know. Could be something like that. Sharing so freely and generously with others to the detriment of yourself. It could be something like that. You got the Hermit, but it's in reverse. Okay, so at this point, you've recognized the pattern. You've known that you don't want to do that anymore. You have inspired yourself to make some changes, but you haven't taken the time to really like be with yourself and the parts of you that were acting in those ways. So there was a part of you and a reason why you were being like those ways, right? If it was that you were resentful, it was because you gave with an expectation. And so the parts of you that wanted to give with expectation maybe need to be looked at, like, why was I giving? And that's just an example. It may not be exactly that. Um, but there's a need to go inward and be with these parts of yourself. Even if you're doing that already, it's just saying, like, that's the right thing to do then. And maybe you do feel like there's a high demand on your attention still because of the way you were. There was a lot of people kind of looking to you and wanting from you, demanding, even just to be inspired by you. You are a person full of great ideas, and inspiration comes very easily to you. And have a lot of support, right? Because these people are willing to support you in whatever it is. You give a lot to them. Maybe it's that they're entertained by a bit of snarkiness or whatever it is. But I do think that you are benefiting in some way from that way of being that you've now decided might not align with you fully. Or that you've been just wanting to take a break from because it's too high demand, or you just want to get in touch with the more authentic version of you so that you can feel fully fulfilled. Like there's something that you recognize that was missing from the equation, and now you kind of want to add that in, and you're trying to make room for it by kind of taking a stand against something that you were doing that was prohibiting it. And maybe it's like having a happy family, right? Like if you were like known for being snarky or kind of like open to one night stands or dating instead of settling down or anything like that, it's like you realize like, oh well, if I'm going to be like a family person, like I kind of need to like allow myself to be a space for that, a wholesome space for, whereas you might have used your childhood wounding patterns to make entertainment, you might not want to perpetuate them with your children. So you're realizing, oh, well, I should probably take some time to heal these, to stop doing this, and even to heal these things so that I don't perpetuate them and so that I can kind of have it all. Yeah, you're working on having it all. Get some stuff from the astrology oracle. See what else. Free spirits. Yeah, this is all up to you. These are your choices that you're making to do. Yep, you're getting in touch with who you really are. You've decided that you want to be even more authentic. So maybe the process of changing is something that you're being authentic about, that you're even showing it to the people that were depending on you or demanding of you or expecting of you. You're saying, well, look, I'm going through this change here, and you guys are still like on me, but like maybe you're even going to have to say to them, well, I do need this space for myself, so I'm going to withdraw. Like you're getting that authentic. You're just getting, just in tune. Look, more freedom. Yeah, you are going to be breaking away from all the demands of others, no matter, what. Like that's something that you're going to be doing. This is because your soul is driving you to do it. Your soul wanted to do it at this time. You're committed to doing this for yourself. That's why every bit of your being is pressing you towards it. Yeah, you might even want to start committing to someone and to settle down, right, and to have a family. There is victory for you in this situation. You know it. You know exactly what you need to do. You need to spend some time nurturing and loving and dealing with any wounds with the mother. Maybe even having talks with people, writing letters that you're not going to send that are very authentic to who you are and how you feel. You're going to create the room and the space for you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. You are taking off the masks, which were really just masking pain that you hadn't yet dealt with. Even though it was useful for you to use those, that did get you a lot of recognition and did serve as a barrier between your pain and those that expect it of you. Now that is even going to be eliminated, because maybe you even saw that that was a weakness, or that it was a weakness to carry those burdens. Like maybe the fact that you couldn't commit, maybe you wanted to commit and you couldn't, and you were like, oh wait, I have a weakness here that's holding me back, and I want to be all that I can be. So I need to deal with the thing that is keeping me from being able to get and be and have what I want. Like all this freedom can be used to be authentic, like, and to be like, well, this is what it is actually. You thought I was this way, well, I am that way, but I'm also this way. Yeah, and this is so that you can come together with somebody in victory. And look, we've got Zeus. Okay, yes, all right. So something about Zeus is that Zeus had a lot of partners. Zeus was not a settling. Zeus did settle down. Zeus needed to be in a relationship. He was always with somebody, or more than somebody. And he really pissed his wife off, Hera, right? She's known for taking revenge on the people that, or the goddesses and even the common people that Zeus had affairs with. And Zeus is known for, I mean, he lived a lot of years, right? So there were a lot of partners, and at different stages there were different ones. And Hera was actually his sister, and he actually fooled her into marrying him. But so there's a lot of stuff about Zeus wearing a mask, and not settling down, not committing. Like even when he was committed, he wasn't faithful. He played around, and he remained free, and used his rule to like just do what he wanted, and felt and called that freedom. But what Zeus didn't get to experience is the real commitment and love of anyone, because he was always scheming and moving on and protecting himself in such a way that he wouldn't trust anyone to be true to him, because he wasn't trusting himself to be true. He wasn't allowing himself to be committed and true. He wasn't being authentic. He was trying to probably fill absences and wounds, and portray himself as more powerful, and act like he didn't care about things. And really, Zeus was, you can see in the mythology that he was also a kind guy. Like he did have soft spots now and then that would come out. So you knew that there were reasons that he was acting out, like by, so this soul, your soul has this energy, right? And when you have the energy of Zeus tied to your soul, what you've been playing out is Zeus stuff. So if you look at the mythology of Zeus, how many women he betrayed, how many women he cheated on, how many children he had, how many times he killed his child, how many times he turned somebody into a tree or a rock, or ordered so-and-so killed, or revived so-and-so, or turned somebody into a star, or turned somebody into a cow, and cursed somebody to only be able to have love as their weapon, or whatever he did. He wasn't faithful. He was quite a trickster, and he was self-important, and he was prideful, and he never let himself be really seen. I believe his first wife was Metis, and she was very wise, and she was actually an advisor to Zeus. But after that, he didn't let anyone advise him. He just kind of did what he wanted. And you see in the mythology all of the pain that he caused. And it is personified in Hera, because he really betrays Hera, and she kind of acts out in it. Whereas a lot of the other ones were not feeling as powerful. But Hera was his sister, so she did have a lot of power, just like he did. And she used it to take out that anger and that pain that was caused by the infidelity and by the powerlessness to be in a true, authentic union that honored her, that honored what her needs were, and had victory, and that didn't have a mask. And so the weaknesses in this energy here are things like Zeus things. Like Zeus couldn't settle down. Zeus couldn't have that happy, family, because he didn't let himself. He never let himself. He was always moving on to the next and the next and the next. And maybe he was like fearful he would miss out on something or whatever it is. But like, I feel like you've realized that all that isn't for you. So you've come to a point where you're like, okay, I'm done with this. Now, I want to say that it's not wrong that you experienced this. Now, we're painting Zeus as like this person who is this and that. Well, that was important. We needed to know what it was like when somebody did that with their life. When somebody's energy was so powerful and prideful and arrogant and you know, with just moments of caring and like scheming and trickster and smart and powerful, and we needed to know, right? And then we needed to come in and we needed to alchemize all that energy. And it took somebody like you to take that on and to say, okay, I'm willing to experience Zeus-like things and take it to a higher level and alchemize it and break out of the cycles that Zeus has been in. And I'm going to free the mythology of Zeus one by one. And I'm committed to do it. And then my prize at the end, the victory that I get, is I will be recognized for it. Not in a prideful, arrogant way, but it will be seen because I have such big energy. I have Zeus fucking energy. Sorry about but like, and I'm willing to work hard and I have what it takes and I am well inspired, and the hardest thing for me to do is to go inward and to be with this part of me, because now I have to love the part of me that feels ashamed of doing those things, that knows that all that pain was caused. But this is okay. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of here. It's just like, love those parts of yourself. That's what you came to do. You came to love parts that hadn't been loved yet. They are lovable things. Like, I have tears coming to my eyes because it's like, I think this is a very honorable thing. Beautiful, honorable thing. Now, if you didn't recognize Zeus stuff in you, then you have somebody in your life who kind of acts like that, who wasn't being true to you, who's kind of a tyrant and who won't stick to and have a commitment and is all about their own freedom and their way or the highway and stuff like that. But like you have recognized that you want to work things out and be in harmony with somebody. And you will allow that process of trying to be in harmony with somebody to show you the weaknesses in you and to show you where that Zeus energy has been holding you back, so that you can love the part of you that might not feel good about having had those experiences and make it okay. Because it is okay. When you start grabbing back the energy from Zeus myths, from Zeus karma, that is so much power. If you liked power before, just wait. As you do this more and more, as you take the time for yourself to go inward, love these parts of self, identify the cycles that you're putting an end to, and integrate all of that back so that those energies aren't looping around you and instead they're with you. Now you can see above them and make new decisions using the energy and using the experience that you've had. Whoa, that's big energy. Yes, so there is a mythology about Hecate and Zeus. I believe in one of the mythologies she helped him. I think. Greek mythology, so isn't Hecate, yeah. So this is the healer. She's the crone witch healer, and so there is someone possibly that can help you with this process, and if it's not that they help you by healing you or something like that, it's that they reflect back to you the thing you need to see in yourself. Like, they are the one who lets the boo-boo be poked in you. Maybe it's like that you want to be in a relationship with somebody, but you've been a player, and they think your reputation precedes you, and that they wouldn't give you the time of day because of that. Well, now that hurts you, and now you go, oh, yeah, being like that hurts because I've now not been able to have this, person that I want. And it's like, okay, well, love the part of you that feels bad about that. Make that okay, right? And life will serve you up enough experiences and enough other people so that you can see everything you need to see to clear what you came to clear. This is something that you came to do, and I do think that you are actually going to use what you've learned in the business. Like, maybe you were making money and benefiting from the way you were doing things, and now you will benefit greatly from doing things this other way and from the wisdom you gain from doing it this other way. Yep, you're coming into harmony with yourself and others. You're creating it. It's something you are creating, right, by the work that you do. You're seeing things from a different perspective. That's coming full circle. So you're clearing the karma, ending the cycles of these things. And this means this hasn't been easy. These are energies that are hard to work with. And that's why you're doing it, right? That's not why, not everybody can do this. This is like hard stuff. This is big stuff. Like someone who could come in and harbor the mythologies and energies and karmas of Zeus has a big presence and a big energy and a big capability of completing this task. Let's see. And I think that the more you do this, the more you'll be in touch with your feelings. The more that you'll see what your feelings are, and there are guides besides Hecate or Hecate, however you want to say it. The animal spirit totems around you are giving you guidance. I usually use a website called, I think it's spiritanimal.com or something like that. It's got a dash in there. I don't know. I use Google to find it. So say I see a turkey or 3 turkeys in my yard, I'll be like turkey spirit totem and do Google, and it brings up a site, and the site in particular has oracle messages, and so I get little messages from animal spirit totems. So there might be like guidance like that for you around, because if you're in the Zeus mythologies, there might be a lot of density around you, and it might be hard to hear your guidance, your intuition, and your heart so far. As you do more healing, it'll be easier. You'll find yourself getting in the flow. The flow is when you lose track of time. Whatever you're doing where you lose track of time, that's where you want to be. When you're not, when you are, in those old patterns, know that you're in an expired soul contract. This is something that's coming to an end, and that you're revisiting it for the last time if you so choose to take your awareness to that and consciously use your free will to end the cycle and escape the expired soul contracts that you've identified in your life. All right, let's see about a couple these animal spirit totem cards. Frog, purification, clear out the clutter. So maybe there's a lot of people, relationships, or things in your life that you no longer need. This is part of making room. Like we talked about, you making room in your life for this new way of being. You can do that symbolically by clearing out clutter in your home, in your car, things like that. Grace, the swan card. Appreciate the beauty inside and all around you. See, that said inside. You are beautiful. Zeus energy. Whatever has been done, as the human that you are. However, it's very important that you did what you did. It's very important that you had the experiences. There is beauty in it and all around you, and every other person that played those parts for you. You leave the situations and the things in grace, but not in anger, not in expectation, not in disdain. Take those lessons from looking at Hera, because everything that she put out came back to her, whether it was spurred by Zeus's stuff or not. Salmon, determination. You know where you are going and you will get there. Yeah. And that's that confidence, so it's like that Zeus energy isn't all bad. You have had confidence, you know that you have it. And the salmon, look at the salmon, goes upstream, swims against the current to achieve what they're meant to achieve. And that is what you are doing. So when it's hard, when it seems like, well, everybody else is getting it easier, or, that's why comparison is the thief of joy. Everybody else isn't going to reap the rewards that you're going to reap from having the experiences that you're having, from knowing yourself to the degree Knowing yourself to the degree that you get to know yourself by knowing what you're not. By using your free will, those are your choices, those are your inspirations that you're using to move forward against what is easy, but even though it's not easy, you know you have to do it, and you can do it with grace by appreciating the beauty of the process, appreciating the beauty of being a person that can do it, that will choose it, and becoming this purified version of yourself because of what you've been through, which were all beautiful experiences that contributed to your destiny as well. It's just that you've come to this like place where it's an end of a cycle. And after the end of a cycle is a new cycle. So what you move into after this may be something unknown, something you're unfamiliar with, because you've mastered using the energy as you had it. And that's why having this grace and appreciation for the beauty of things is going to be really convenient and helpful. That's why being pure and like open like a child as you go towards new experiences is going to be very helpful. That's why having this resilience and this knowing that you have your back, even if it's hard, is going to be really helpful. Pick 3. I really appreciate doing this reading. It's been inspiring. And that's another thing, right? Because you are so seen and you have an audience, so to speak, whether it's just the people who know you, or you have a platform, or you're famous, or you're, just in your community, you're known, or you have a lot of friends, or your family's big, or whatever it is, you're seen, and you will be an example for people to see this authenticity that you are striving for and achieving because it was time. And this, some people will love this, some people won't, and that's all okay, because however it makes you feel, it's just your job to be with that, because that's who you are. It's your feelings that matter, not theirs, and I think you know that. That's why you're doing this. Yeah. Wow. I really like it. It's like hard for me to even close the reading out because I just want to sit in the beauty of this. I have tears at the back of my eyes as I appreciate the journey that you're on. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Remember, it's just information to reflect on. Only take it if it's helpful for you. If it isn't helpful, it's not meant for you. And perhaps we'll see you in a future reading. Bye.